Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's another Friday night RV side chat with Shawn and Corinne from Travels of Red Rover. Last week on their channel, we were talking about finding locations and access. What are we going to be talking about this week, Shelley?
Well, this week we're talking about not chasing the light and working with blinders on.
It's quite an interesting and informative episode. We got so narrowly focused. Well, anyway, you'll see it here in just a little bit. Stay tuned until the end of the episode where we'll tell you what we're going to be talking about next week on their channel.
Okay, I talked about doing a cityscape series where I'm going to go around Kansas City and do all these locations that I've got and talk about how I find them. Okay, basically, I think I'm going to do up a tutorial. Okay, and then I'm going to cut it down to YouTube teases.
Okay.
Yeah, you heard that, teases. So if I do this, there'll be a tutorial, and you'll be paying for it. Teases. And there's one location that I went to literally for 3 weeks straight, every night on the way home from work, because that was the period of time that I knew the light was going to come from the west down this valley along I-35 into downtown and give me just this gorgeous light hitting the downtown skyline, and I could get the light trails of I-35. I'm set there for 3 weeks, 5 nights a week, same composition. Out of that time, I got the light once, but every night, this one of the television broadcast towers had this gorgeous epic light glowing around it with some crepuscular rays from time to time. And you know what I didn't do?
Didn't shoot it, I bet.
Nope. And it was literally like this.
Rotate a quarter.
It was maybe a 5-degree change. And then I could have gone back.
Yeah.
But I was so focused on, that's my composition. I'm going to get this gorgeous river of light coming towards me with the white and the red headlights, and then the gorgeous light reflecting off the glass building.
Never.
One time. Have I printed the photo?
I bet you haven't.
No. You know why?
Because there's probably something wrong with it.
Camera shake.
Oh, yeah.
Now, as photographers, we all say, it's the photographer, it's not the gear, A good photographer can do anything with any kind of gear, right? BS.
Yeah.
The most important piece of equipment you own is your tripod.
Yeah.
If you have a crappy tripod, you will take crappy photographs.
Yeah, that's true.
And you know how I found that out?
Agree with it.
That one photograph.
Yeah.
Because I'm zoomed out at 300 mil and just a slight breeze and the tripod head, because I had that center column, shook just enough to blur the photo.
Yeah.
And ruined it.
You talk about missing photographs when you should take them. I have one that I think of all the time. All the time. I was driving back from a work trip, and I drive a lot through middle of nowhere, Missouri. And I drove past this field, and I should have stopped. I had my camera, and I thought, I should have stopped. Every time I kick myself. Every time I drive past a field with hay bales, I think about it, because this farmer had laid out these hay bales. It was like Arlington National Cemetery. This guy had put these hay bales out, and it didn't matter which angle you were at, they were in a line. Like diagonally, straight, whatever way. And the light was hitting it. It was on this nice little green rise. And the clouds and the light was beautiful. And I thought, I should stop and take that image. No, I have to get back home. I have to get to the office. And I kick myself every time I see a hay field. I remember that image.
Yeah.
And I should have.
Yeah. Well, we've both done that. I mean, for us, it's been actually the one that catches us quite often. We're so focused over this way. Right behind us, all the magic is happening, right?
Well, sometimes we're driving somewhere too, and we'll both be very keen on getting to a specific location, and separately we'll see something, but we won't say anything to each other. And then when we get to our location and we're kind of waiting for the light or doing something like getting set up will say, "Did you see that spot? Yeah, I was going to say to you we should
Yeah,
stop,
yeah.
but I decided not to."
Yeah.
And then, the other person says, "Yeah, I was going to say the same thing." And we shoot ourselves for saying, if we had only just said something to the other person, we'd have agreed to do it.
Yeah.
Now, did I say it the first day we were in the truck? You guys were riding in the truck with us. If you see something, say something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I'm so focused on making sure we get there safely. And some of the roads around here, we're going through very narrow tunnels that have blind intersections, and you have to line them up perfectly. And I've been out to Black Hills, 3 times now, and I understand how to drive through these things. 95% of the tourists out here think you just drive like you normally would.
Yeah.
Right on the right side, and you go through the tunnel. No, what you need to do is you need to sweep around to the big shoulder on the opposite side so that you can see through the tunnel to know that you're not going to hit somebody head on or an animal. So it's like, I'm focused on driving. If you guys see something you want to think is interesting, let's stop. So,
Well, and we've done that actually pretty well.
Yeah.
I'd say that the only one that we've really all agreed on, we kind of did the Corinne and Shawn thing. We all looked at that river. We all thought we ought to stop and photograph that right now.
and we didn't do it.
And then we thought
Didn't do
bison.
it.
Yeah.
It was just now I bet if we see another shot like that, which we probably won't, but if we will, we'll stop because we've had the conversation about it.
And if we don't now, then we're going to be like,
Oh,
we
really
did it
kick
again.
ourselves. I'll tell you what, if we do that before the end of the trip with each other, we'll say that on camera that we screwed up again.
Yeah.
So, no, that was an interesting day, and it's funny that it would be interesting if one of us thought, "Gee, we really should have
There's all
stopped,"
4 of us.
or maybe 2 of us had thought, one of the couples that but to have all 4 of us think we ought to have stopped and taken the picture is, says a lot about the
In
picture.
my defense, I did take a shot out the window.
Yes, you did.
I
You
did.
did. You did take
I
a
was
shot
the
out the
only one who
window.
did.
That's true.
But again, my thinking was, we're looking for the buffalo. I don't want to slow anybody down, and we can always come back tomorrow.
Well,
That's what I
you know what
thought.
my thought was? I had my massive lens on. I had all the camera settings over to shoot wildlife, and I thought to myself, "Oh, it's going to just be a pain to change everything back over, take a landscape shot, and then change everything back over." And of course, that herd was just around the corner, right? That massive 1,000 bison herd was just around that next corner.
A whopping bull and 2 cows.
Yeah, a bull and 2
On land
cats.
we weren't allowed to go to.
On land we couldn't go.
Oh no, that was farther down so we got to where we had 3 bison, a bull and 2 cows, and it was okay. I think Shelley and Corinne came away with some images, and Shawn and I were like, we're gonna get bison butt.
Yeah, that's right.
By the time we're ready, we're gonna get bison butt because we couldn't get out of the vehicle because they're well too close to where we're at. So we're all shooting from the vehicle. So Shawn and I are on the driver's side. He's behind me, and Shelley and Corinne are on the other side. They just roll down their windows and I hear this. I'm just going, "Oh my God, do you girls want me to back up just a little bit, give you a better angle or something?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's killing me. I can't get a shot of it." Whatever. I have bison closer.
Didn't you have the temptation to be that person?
What, to jump out of the
The
truck?
car, yeah.
Yeah,
I was thinking, I said, well, I could probably shoot over the back of the truck and probably have the truck between me and them. And just so that people are clear, these bison were very close. I mean, Corinne and Shelley were shooting with relatively small zoom lenses. They weren't shooting with massive zoom lenses, and they were getting like eyeballs. And so they were up personal and close, and to get out of the vehicle would have been irresponsible.
Maybe around 50 yards?
No, the 2 females maybe, but that
50.
male.
That male was really close.
Yeah, and then when the horses came over the hill behind us, that male. So the male was pretty docile, right? That's what made me think.
Around the truck, yeah.
Yeah, around the truck, he was pretty docile.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I could do that. Maybe I could be that person.
Mm-mm.
And then, what you don't know is that some horses, we were on a major horse trail, and 2 horses came up over the top, and that in September in Custard State Park, the bison are herded up with horses. So the bull bison are really, really sensitive to the horses. And those horses came over the top of the hill, and man, I'm not getting out of this truck, because he was wide awake.
He took notice, and he started walking towards the truck, and then he turned towards the horses. The people on the horses stopped, literally just froze where they were. At that point, I was like, we need to leave.
Yeah.
Because...
Well, we were sort of between the bull and the horses.
I mean, I like my truck, okay? The problem is if a bison hits your vehicle out here, you're at fault.
Yeah.
You're liable for the damage to the bison, not the other way around. So, and bison can easily take out a half-ton truck very easily.
Oh, I would think so. Well, that guy was almost as big as the half-ton truck.
Well, yeah. A lot of them are.
Yeah.
Although the funniest one is that, so we did all this driving around, and the best photograph I got of a bison was sitting in the dump station of the RV park
Yes.
at the, the visitor center,
Yeah.
so all this drive, tens, maybe 100 miles of driving through bison country, and the best shot is in the the RV dump station.
Yeah.
So, in fact, I have a friend that said to me, how hard was it to get that photograph? And I wrote him a message back, and I got to call him. I'm thinking of you, Dave. And I said, do you want the long story or the short story? Well, the real story is about a minute. I mean, he literally, and it was funny because we stopped there and he was in the shade.
But you drove around for 4 hours.
Yeah, I drove around for 4 hours to get that 5-minute shot. But, the funny part was we pulled the truck into the dump station. There was a couple other cars there when we pulled in the dump station, and I can hear Craig in the front, come into the light. Come into the light.
Come into the light.
Come into
Just
the light.
a little bit closer.
Come into the light. Little closer. Little closer.
Come to the light.
And then,
Good.
and he refused to pick his head up, so he started moving to the light with his head down.
Now bring your head up.
Now bring your head up. Bring your head up. And that's it happened. Yeah.
Got
one. So Craig, the bison whisperer.
I can also communicate with Somali wild ass and camel. Birds I'm still working on.
That was really funny because, if he hadn't walked into the light and got that beautiful afternoon light just, glowing off the top of him and lifted his head,
Plus the
there's
shot
still no shot.
you're talking about, Shawn, is you've got the catch light in the eye from that when he lifted right up in the light.
And probably, so he took another 3 steps, he was out of the light again, or back into shadow, and 3 steps the other way, he was
his head down.
He had his head down.
Or had his butt to you.
Or, that's the other thing, too. So, I have more shots of animal butt than I have of any other kind. I mean, if there's an opportunity to get an animal's butt, that's exactly that. I'm a pro at animal butts. The only thing in photography and in wildlife photography I could teach, or the back of the head of birds.
Yeah.
I'll see a bird perfect, beautiful woodpecker looking right at me. Take the camera up. He's looking the other way.
Where he goes around the tree.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he
goes around the tree.
Teasing
Every time. Ha ha. Yeah, every time.
Well, we hope you all enjoyed that little chat with Shawn and Corinne from Travels a Red Rover about not chasing the light and working with blinders on. Probably now you see what we're talking about.
It was quite fun. And next week, we're going to be talking about the group experience, which is yet another fascinating insight into what we all kind of learned on this first meetup that we've done with another YouTubing couple or another YouTube channel. So stay tuned for that next week over on their channel. I'd like to thank you very much for watching. We both appreciate it very much. I know Shawn and Corinne appreciate the watches, the subs, and the likes over on their channel as well. If you haven't yet done so, take a moment, please, to hit that subscribe button down below. Ding the bell for notifications. Ding. And give us a big thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.